Thanks for joining today's episode of Small Talks for Big Change, where we help simplify financial topics to help with your financial wellness. My name is Michelle Enriquez, Membership Development Manager here at Patelco Credit Union, and Happy New Year to everyone out there, and welcome to Season 2 of our podcast. We want to just take a moment to reflect on 2023 and some of the topics we covered in our inaugural year. We talked about student loan forgiveness, the interest rate environment, a lot about fraud, some bromance jobs, student scams, and prevention tactics. We had our CEO in the studio talking about banking with the soul and a credit union difference. We also talked about things like budgeting and opening your first kids' accounts and being resilient for the holidays. And all of this really is in the spirit of helping with your financial wellness. And here at Patelco, we talk a ton about financial health and financial wellness. And today we're going to talk about really what that even means. It's 2024, and we promise you there's not going to be any false hopes of new year, new me, but we do want to provide a positive and realistic approach to 2024 and meeting your financial goals. And a great way to do that is to talk about financial health and get you to think about what that means to you. And luckily for all of us, Jennifer Meek is here with us to help us do that. Hi, Jen. Welcome back to the studio.
Hello, Michelle. It's good to be back. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. And okay, so what's the appropriate time to say Happy New Year? Is it like a time range? Is it like a month's time? Or is it the first time you see somebody in the new year? Like, at what point do we stop saying Happy New Year?
I feel like halfway through January is probably a good stopping point. Typically I say it if I haven't seen somebody. So
it's a good rule. Okay,
yeah.
But not past February.
Right.
Okay. So to start, and this conversation about financial health, if you were to rate your financial health, your own personal, on a scale of financially struggling to financially thriving after having taken your family of 6 to Disneyland recently, what would you rate it, Jen?
Oh, boy, Michelle. What a loaded question. Well, I will have to say that I feel like I am financially thriving, and that may surprise some people, but I'll kind of explain to you why. And I would say probably 4 years ago, I would say that I would be financially struggling after going to Disneyland. We all know the prices of the tickets, the airfare, all of the little souvenirs, the food, everything that those little ones need becomes quite the expense. And you end up paying 3 or 4 car payments while you're at Disneyland. Right. But about 3 years ago, my husband and I sat down to actually have a conversation about financial health. And I've been at Patelco it'll be 29 years in February. And believe it or not, I still struggled with financial health, right? I am a spender. My husband is a saver. And we've been married for about 16 years, and we needed to align on how we were going to manage this. So I think the conversation on financial health was actually triggered after about 10 Amazon packages ended up on our porch one day. And in my defense, most of them were necessities, but some were also impulse purchases. So as a family of 6 with kids getting old enough to remember and enjoy vacations, we really honed in on how we could take vacations without getting into an enormous amount of debt. We'd done that the whole time we had kids. Our oldest is 12. And we would go on vacations and we would charge it up. We decided we needed to set a savings plan both up for traveling and emergency savings. And for the first few years of this plan, we didn't travel at all. We stayed at home. We did staycations. We worked on the house, did things around town, things, that didn't cost money. But on the 3rd year, after we had been saving, we were able to take our 4 kids to Aulani in Hawaii this last February. And then this last Christmas, we took them to Disneyland, as you mentioned. And both vacations, I can proudly say, incurred no debt, and they were fully paid in cash.
Nice.
So during this 3-year period, we were able to triple our emergency savings as well, and now have better peace of mind that we can navigate through life's financial challenges, which makes me super happy. And as the director of member experience and financial health, I feel like I need to have that down and solid, right? So in case you're wondering, after hearing this story, I have morphed into more of a saver throughout this process. And I really think that sitting down and creating a budget and sticking to it, that's the key word, is sticking to it, has really helped me and my financial mindset over the last 3 years. And Veronica Dangerfield, who's also been on this podcast and is our financial educator for Patelco, once said something that stuck to me, and is what you focus on is what you put your energy into. And I really did that for the last 3 years.
Yep. Well, first of all, congratulations for surviving 2 Disney, not 1, but 2 Disney trips without incurring any debt. But let's talk about 2 things that really resonated there. It's planning and saving. And let's talk about the definition of financial health a little bit more. So credit unions work closely with the National Financial Health Network, and they do tons of research and studies around understanding financial health, and they talk about it in this way. Financial health comes about when your daily systems help you build resilience and pursue opportunities. They believe that financial health is the best indicator of a person's ability to thrive financially, from weathering shocks to achieving their goals. Further, financial health is a composite measurement of an individual's financial life. So unlike narrow metrics like credit scores and health assessments, whether people are spending, saving, borrowing, and planning in ways that will enable them to be resilient and pursue opportunities. So there's 4 main categories that they mention, and they're spend, save, borrow, and plan are what they consider the main components of financial health. And our team develops financial education curriculum for a number of audiences, and those 4 principles really do cover all the important things related to financial stability. I think what it boils down to is understanding where your money is coming and going, and the B word, budgeting, that you mentioned. You actively save and have goals, so that's something that's intentional for you and your spouse. You've maximized borrowing, meaning you're taking advantage of the best rates possible, and you have sufficient insurance to weather a financial storm, so the emergency savings that you're talking about. So with all of those 4 components, you should feel more in control and less stressed or healthy as a result. I want to add that financial health doesn't necessarily mean you have a ton of money, but that the money that you do have is working comfortably for you, your lifestyle, and your goals. And it sounds like, you've had that conversation about what your goals are, you plan what you're going to do, and then you take action based on those goals. So we're in the business of helping our members achieve financial health or try to achieve financial health. And Jen, you're close to a lot of that work. What does that mean for Patelco and the way we serve our membership?
Yeah, and Michelle, something I want to mention to everybody listening to this podcast, that financial health can really vary from person to person, right? It's deeply influenced by somebody's personal goals or even their values. For example, someone who loves to experience adventures and traveling may prioritize savings for these types of activities, kind of like we did, right? Others may value financial security and work on building their savings and retirement over time. And that was another thing that was really important to us, especially with 4 young kids. And then others may really want to get out of debt, and therefore they sacrifice saving money and traveling to meet that goal. And that was actually another part of our 3-year plan as well, is that we got out of debt except for a car and a house payment. So it's really been so freeing to have no credit card debt at all. But, you asked, what does that mean for Patelco and the way we serve our membership? And Patelco is very focused on financial wellness and financial health. We have a financial wellness email newsletter that goes out every month. We send updates through email that are, really targeted at keeping the financial health of our members safe. Fraud emails, scam alerts, things like that. We have financial wellness on patelco.org. Training happens with our team. How can our team talk to a member and really uncover what it is that they need to move up those building blocks of financial freedom? And that's something that we really focus on here at Patelco, and something that makes me really proud.
So I mentioned we do develop a curriculum for some of our audiences, and we teach classes all the time. But I'm a Patelco member too, and I get those financial wellness email, and they're chock full of great information. There's upcoming webinars, of course, our podcast, but all kinds of great tips to help with financial wellness. So if you're a member and you do receive that email, take a look at it. It's really intended to not be any kind of sales tool at all, but really genuinely just trying to give our members financial health and wellness tips. So we said we're not going to say new year, new me today like we always do. Instead, let's say, and I'm going to steal this from Veronica Dangerfield, our financial educator that you mentioned. She runs a program called Get Ready, Be Ready, Stay Ready, and I love that name so much.
It's so good.
The difference for me this year will be to stay ready, not just to stop or get started. So in the spirit of getting ready, these are my financial tips for optimum financial health. We talked about those 4 categories. It's the spend, save, borrow, and plan. So in the spend category, do you have a budget? If not, get one started. And if you don't know where to get started, those financial wellness emails that we talked about or our website is a great place to do that. In the save category, do you have an emergency fund set up like Jen and her spouse started? Again, if you're not sure where to get started, our website, patelco.org, is a great place to find more information. In the borrow category, take a deeper look into your credit card debt. Do you know the rates on all your credit accounts and loans? If not, just make a simple list on paper and try and prioritize the payoff. Our certified financial specialists are great folks to meet with on a complimentary basis to talk about prioritizing that payoff list if you do need help. Then the last category, the plan category, if you don't have a short, mid, or long-term goal, think about it. Put it down on paper. Jen talked about, her vacation goals. Maybe that was a 1-year goal. It might be a 5-year goal for some folks. But really writing your goals down on paper, thinking about a timeline, and then applying specifics to it is a great way to get planning. So Jen, give us your top Patelco resources to help with learning about any of those financial health topics.
Absolutely. So I think number 1 is our webinars. Our webinars are so robust and informational. I attend almost every single webinar that we have during the year. And I, even being in a credit union industry for 29 years with Patelco, learn something new every time I log in. So even if you think you know it all, and you're at that achieving financial freedom state in your life, check them out. You might find something that you didn't know. We have a financial resource center at patelco.org, which is full of information. We have different resources such as Bonsai and Balance. They can help you budget. They can help you save, set up long-term and short-term goals. We have a new money market account that is absolutely amazing. It is not an investment account. It is a high-yield savings, and the rate goes higher with the more money that you save. And so that will really help to build that emergency savings account. And then Financial Insights, something that we recently released on patelco.org through our online banking. You can allocate different charges and different transfers within your account to different categories. And then you can really see at the end of the month where that money's going to and where you may need to make some adjustments. And I just want to mention, too, that internally here at Patelco, we have these things called building blocks, and it's the road to financial freedom, and something that we think about when we're helping our members, because we really do want to meet our members where they're at. So at the bottom of the building blocks is managing effectively. So how do we help our members to manage their day-to-day finances simply, comfortably, and securely? And so that might be someone just starting out. You're just moving out of the house, or maybe you're, just getting out of high school, or whatever that may be. We want to teach you how to manage effectively through the beginning of your financial freedom road. And then being resilient. We want to make sure that our members are resilient to life's ups and downs. And this is by guiding all of our members, everybody listening to this podcast, to save diligently and borrow responsibly. And that is huge, saving and borrowing responsibly, because there are some not great loans out there, and we want to make sure that when you do take out a loan, that it is going to help you on your road to financial freedom. And then seizing opportunities. So strengthening your financial future, inspiring you to plan purposefully, and then the last road, or the last block, I should say, on the road to financial freedom is achieving financial freedom. And I think that's where we are all heading and where we want to help you to get. And that is what Patelco is here to do. And please use our resources, talk to our team members. They are trained to help you, and they are ready and willing to get you on that road to financial freedom.
And this is why we love having you in the studio so much, Jim, because as much as I think I've got this financial health thing down and I'm ready to start this year off on a good start, I'm getting even more great tips and inspiration from you. So we're saying, no new year, new me. Let's say get ready, be ready, and stay ready. Be intentional about your financial goals. Sit down and formulate a plan with your loved ones and talk about what financial health means to you. And if you need help along the way, Patelco's right here with a lot of great resources to support you. So, Jen, you're our very first guest of 2024.
Yay!
I'm probably going to ask you back to the studio to talk more about this subject because we can never really, truly talk enough about it, right?
Agree.
Would you say that we're in the best way, the best financial health nerds? And we could talk
totally.
about this all day?
I geek out on it all the time. Books, webinars, podcasts, you name it. I listen to everything financial related, so I love it all. I also collaborate with other credit unions who I think do a really good job at also educating their members on financial health. So I'm constantly a sponge going around soaking up knowledge that I can help our members with on that road to financial freedom.
It's so amazing, and we appreciate your expertise so much. So maybe we'll be back here mid-year to check in on our financial health goals.
That sounds
and then maybe
good.
a last time at the end of the year. Well, we wish everyone out there a happy new year and happy financial health planning. That concludes today's episode of Small Talks for Big Change, where we help simplify financial topics to help with your financial wellness. We'll see you next time. Patelco Credit Union is insured by NCUA.